Hello, College Park. Can you hear me well? I hope you can. I am streaming on YouTube. Well, I think we got some viewers going on the chat box live right now. Hello, College Park. So we are streaming on YouTube today in addition to the classic WMUC radio link. Thank you for tuning in today. Today we're going to be talking a lot of soccer. We're going to be talking some NBA, some NFL, catching you up. So if you're a big soccer fan, I hope you enjoy listening today. The YouTube link, you can find it on my Twitter account at NickM1. You can chat in the chat box at any time. In addition, you can also text or call in at 443-567-1837. I hope we have a great show today. Once again, my name is Nick, and I have two guests joining me today, and one of which is Wilfred. Wilfred, say hello.
Hi, guys. My name is Wilfred Cage4. I'm a computer science major at the University of Maryland, and this is my first public appearance, so I'm really excited about this. I actually made a Twitter account just for today. I really want to thank Nick for letting me on.
No problem, Wilfred. I hope you have a good time. Brendan, what's up?
How's it going, Nick? My name is Brendan. Just like Will, this is my first radio appearance on UMD, so I'm looking forward to it. Let's get started.
All right, yeah. Hey, great introductions. So I want to talk about the MLS first. MLS, not the biggest league in America, but it's still noteworthy. So DC United had their playoff game not a couple days ago. They fought hard for 93 minutes, but then what happened next?
That was rough. I mean, they equalized in the last minute of the game, but then they gave up 4 goals in extra time. So a really rough way to go out of the playoffs.
That was Wayne Rooney's last game for MLS and DC United. What is Wayne Rooney going to now, Brendan?
So he's off to Derby County in the Football League Championship over in England, but he's going to be a player coach. So he's going to probably see a lot of game time, but he's also going to work on his coaching badges so that he can potentially coach full-time later in life.
So wait, is that his goal? Like he's leaving the MLS to become trained to become a coach?
So that's part of it. He definitely wants to become a coach in the near future, but also I think his family was a little homesick. They didn't enjoy living in the U.S., and I guess England is a little more, like they know their way around there, I guess. That's the best way to put it. But yeah, they just wanted to return home. It's a logical move for him. I can't really criticize it at all.
So I guess the big question is, do you think Wayne Rooney is going to be a good player coach, and is he going to be a good coach if he does get be a manager someday? So
I think, the championship is definitely a big step below the Premier League. So playing-wise, I think he'll be fine. I would expect the same goal return similar to what he had in the MLS. Coaching, it's really up in the air. Some former players are good at coaching, like Pep Guardiola with Man City, but then you have some guys that just are totally out of their depth. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, how do you guys feel about this? I've been noticing a recent trend. I mean, you see Pep. Pep was extremely successful, probably the most successful coach ever. I'm sorry, Ferguson, but I mean,
that's a very, very bold statement.
But
right
he's
there.
Definitely one of the most successful coaches ever.
I can't argue with that.
But what I'm wondering is, you see Pep, he was successful. Coaches saw that. Zidane came. He said, "I can do this too." Zidane had some success. Now you have a floodgate of coaches. I mean, former players who want to be coaches. Henry. Lampard. I mean, I don't know. The list is endless. What do you guys think?
Well,
what do you guys think?
I think with Pep, Barcelona has a very distinct play style.
Right.
That's kind of it's really integrated into every level, from youth up.
Yeah.
And Pep was familiar with that, so it was an easy transition for him. And what he did at Barcelona worked so well that he had the opportunity to implement that at Bayern and Man City right now. With Zidane, if he goes somewhere else, it would be interesting to see if he can do a similar thing to what he's doing at Real Madrid. But I think the general trend of former players as managers is very hit or miss because while you have guys like Pep and Zidane, Thierry Henry was horrible at Monaco, and he's kind of out of coaching now. So you can't really predict their success based on their playing career.
Right.
But I guess sometimes it's good to give guys a chance and see how they do.
See, I think the thing is I've thought a lot about this. The coaches the players that become good coaches are all the players that were extremely technical. Pep Zidane. We give him we'll give him credit, right? But you see a striker. I don't know if strikers. It's like Ronaldo trying to become a coach. He's a great striker. He does his job, but I don't know if he has the technical background to be a good coach. Someone like Messi, maybe that would be interesting.
Well, I think the other thing is, not so, maybe more so for Pep than Zidane or Frank Lampard, but a lot of the players that didn't have long playing careers or sat on the bench and didn't play primarily had more time to learn from like the manager. So maybe that's why you see some of the lesser known players becoming more successful.
No, that's a really good point. Yeah.
Like I know Carlo Ancelotti, he was the manager for Bayern, Real Madrid, a slew of other teams. I think he played a total of like 50 minutes in Serie A when he was a player.
And I don't think Mourinho ever made it.
Mourinho never played professional soccer, no.
Well, rip. We'll see what happens with that.
Yep.
I wish him the best.
Okay, good talk. I am not a soccer guru. The guys I have today are the soccer gurus, so you're probably going to be hearing most of them today. So, anything else you want to comment on DC United? What's next for Acosta? Or how's Areola doing? Areola got red carded in the playoff game. Areola and Acosta are pretty good players for DC United. So, anything comments about them too?
I bet Areola stays. I mean, he's an American player. I don't think there's much interest for him overseas. Luciano Acosta, I know PSG tried to sign him last winter, and that fell through at the last minute. So there's a good chance that maybe he gets another call from Europe, and they send him off, but we'll see.
Yeah, that'll be interesting for sure. I saw Acosta play live. I was not impressed. I think he's too small. But
people said Messi was too small, and look what happened there. So
Acosta's
size,
smaller, though. So.
Yeah, I know, but size is not a good indicator of talent.
Definitely not a good indicator, but it certainly helps to be tall. So, speaking of tall, Donovan Pines, former UMD alum on DC United. He got sparse playing time for DC United this year. Tall defender. I hope he gets more playing time. Does anybody have any comments about that?
I'm not really familiar with him.
He
I don't
played
know about
at
you,
UMD
Will. What about you?
For 4 years. So if you ever caught a UMD game here at Maryland Soccer, definitely do that. They're a ton of fun. 2018 national champs.
Woo-hoo.
So
speaking of UMD soccer alums, shout out to Zach Steffen in the Bundesliga for holding down the fort at Dusseldorf this year.
Oh.
Okay.
That's what we like to hear.
On loan from Man City, so maybe Premier League star in the future.
Okay.
We just got a text saying talk about other leagues other than MLS because nobody cares, and we only budgeted 7 minutes for MLS, so we're right on time.
I mean, we spent about like 2 of those 10 minutes actually talking about the MLS, but oh well.
Yeah. Okay. So Max says he wants to talk about Champions League and Europa League.
Ooh.
So
all right.
Champions League, what do we have to say about that?
Yikes! That's all we can say right now.
It's very, very wide open this year.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, everybody's talking about, like, it seems like Man City are the favorites every single year.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they're running away with their group. Yeah. Liverpool won last year. They're having a bit of a more rough time. I mean, I think they're second right now. Napoli leads their group.
Right.
But they had a big win yesterday, so maybe their form's turning around a bit.
I think PSG will surprise people this year.
No, PSG is out in the round of 16 again.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know, man.
Some teams don't change.
That 3-0 victory over Madrid, I think that looks nice.
Yeah, but Real Madrid is really bad.
Okay.
I think they're bottom of the group right now, right? Or they were before yesterday.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I think that when players have a chip on their shoulder, something surprising can happen. So Neymar, there's a lot of speculation. I thought he was going to go to Madrid this year, but sadly that didn't happen. Cry. But now he's got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to be scoring goals. Mbappe's getting older. He's getting better. I mean, Cavani,
but the thing is,
Cavani's always in form.
But that's 3 players, and the culture at PSG is very much a losing one. Like, sure, they have league success, but they can never get over the hurdle in the Champions League. So I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Here's another thing, though. I think they have a lot of... I'm going to press this again. Navas just left Madrid. He's at PSG. He has a massive chip on his shoulder. Icardi's a troublemaker.
That's true,
I mean,
he
when
is.
you add players like that to the mix, it can change the culture of the team. So I do think... You're right. Last year, they had a strange culture, but Neymar had a weird year. Mbappe wants to improve himself. Icardi is always a wild card. Navas, I mean, he basically got kicked out of Madrid. something might happen. Who knows? Let's cross our fingers.
Don't forget Angel Di Maria, the biggest waste of money at Manchester United, of all time.
Look what he's doing. PSG
Oh,
now.
I know. It was the system,
Yeah,
not the player.
System.
Okay, so we just got breaking news here at WMUC Sports Radio. The United States women's national team is going to hire Seattle Reign FC coach Vlatko Andonovsky, and she will debut for the women's coach for the women's national team as head coach November 7th against Sweden. So that was breaking news. So any comments on that, or do you guys not know
I'm currently Googling him to get some more information.
Can I have a hot take right now? A hot take?
You can have a hot take.
Hot take? Does it actually matter who's in charge of the U.S. women's national team?
I don't think so.
Because they are amazing. They destroy every team.
I think with the amount of leadership that they have on that team, between Alex Morgan, Rapinoe,
right,
Lloyd, Carly Lloyd, it's very much a figurehead position.
Yeah,
I think a lot of the players know how to play effectively, and they can kind of coach themselves on the field.
No, exactly. Yeah.
Speaking of the players you mentioned, Morgan, she's pregnant. She's going to be out for 9 months.
Ooh, I did not know that.
Yeah. Yep. So, and Carly Lloyd, she actually came out with a report saying that she wanted more playing time, and that she didn't think she got enough respect from Jill Ellis. So, is there chemistry going to be an issue in the future, or
no? I don't think so. They have so much talent that they can just
they have so much talent
they can bring up. They have Mallory Pugh, who barely played at the World Cup, but when she did, she was good.
She definitely
she's been really good in the women's soccer league. So, I mean, I think they'll be fine.
Okay.
They just have too much talent, and they're so good. And you know what? Maybe it's good for the team to have a little bit of competition.
Exactly.
Know? What's wrong with that?
Okay.
Yep.
So, are they going to win the World Cup next year, or 4 years from now? Excuse me.
Yes.
Right now, I would probably say yes. I don't know enough about all the other national teams across the world, but
I think
the way they dominated the last World Cup, I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Yeah, I think we have some up and coming countries that will surprise us, especially in women's soccer. It'll be interesting to watch. Mm-hmm. So I don't have any more comments about the women's national team, so let's move on to the men's national team.
The dumpster fire.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So men's national team has been struggling. Their last win came against Cuba, which was an easy win, 7-0. They have been struggling mightily, however. So how does the men's national team get back on track? What's the next stop for coaching, and who are the players to look out for?
So, I mean, Greg Berhalter, their current manager right now, I don't think the answer would be firing him, because they spent a lot of time analyzing coaching candidates, and they chose him. He's had a little over a year, which I don't think is enough time to really fully implement his tactics and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think his downfall right now is he's putting too much faith in MLS players. A lot of his match day squads have been primarily guys from the MLS, and talent-wise, I don't think that's the right move, especially when there's so many, what do you say?
Talented players abroad.
Yeah, exactly. I know the Bundesliga has a lot of American internationals that he's kind of overlooked, like Fabian Johnson, John Brooks, Timmy Chandler. Those are good World Cup players. So I think he needs to potentially bring them back into the fold and give them a chance.
Okay, so we got our first caller today. His name is Alex, and we'll see what he has to say. Alex, I'm calling you right back, and you'll be live on air. Hello, Alex. You're on WMUC.
Message for please,
All right,
Guess he's
Alex.
not.
Wait, one thing back on the men's national team before Alex calls back.
Yeah.
What if the problem isn't the coach? I know this is crazy. What if the problem is the talent?
Oh, that's a massive problem.
You know, we don't talk about
Exactly.
it. We keep firing the coach. Is it a talent problem?
Absolutely.
I think they need to change the way the youth system works.
The way we develop players in this country is way inferior to how they do it in South America and Europe. The whole pay to play thing for young kids and stuff, if they want to get into soccer, I think is the wrong way to go about it. Especially over in Europe, when if you're talented, an academy will sign you up.
You don't even go to school.
You go to school, but that's secondary to soccer.
Yeah, it's secondary.
Your main purpose in life is to become a soccer player.
Okay, so we got Alex back on the air. Alex, you're going to go on live on WMUC Sport Radio. Hi, Alex. How you
I
doing?
had a quick question.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I just wanted to know how you think the Mystics are going to do after Michelle Obama got traded.
Yeah, so Mystics, good question. So Mystics, WNBA champions.
Got signed, traded from the Mystics.
So yeah, Mystics and WNBA champions. They looked really good this year. Surprise of the year was Emma Meesman. She played well. I would have to say that they're favorites to win next year. It's just a matter of staying healthy and keeping our coach. Great, Mike Tebow is a great coach, and hopefully just staying healthy, getting wins, and we'll see how that works. And I'm really excited. Thank you for calling in.
Wait, where was Michelle Obama traded?
Michelle Obama was traded out of office. She was in office, but then she got sent to out of office. So that's
I think they
don't
need to
think
bring
our
her back.
I don't think our caller knows who
No,
Michelle
he
Obama
doesn't.
is.
He called last week too.
Hey, I'll take any participation I can get. This makes it fun.
Yeah.
Once again, you can call in at 443-567-1837. Call or text in. So, what do we want to talk about next? Are we done talking about the men's national team?
We should talk
Yeah,
about...
I don't think there's a
I
lot
wanna
more we
talk
can
about,
say.
Guess who I want to talk about? We need to talk about Ronaldo, and we need to talk about the Premier League.
So, speaking
Yes.
of Ronaldo, he apparently makes more money on Instagram than he does actually playing soccer. So,
Is anyone
that's
surprised?
something.
I'm not surprised
Is
at
anyone
all.
surprised?
He's the most followed athlete, I'm pretty sure.
He's the most followed person.
I think he's
No, I
like,
think Selena Gomez still is.
No, he beat Selena.
Really?
Yes.
Is this recent?
Yeah.
I mean,
at
I haven't
like
I haven't looked
180
at
million.
Instagram statistics for like a year.
No,
so.
yeah, it happened like 2 months ago.
Wow.
It's,
Okay.
It's actually insane. I mean, he's out here.
Ronaldo's he's getting old. I think he's looking towards what he's going to do with his life after he retires.
What do you think
So-
Ronaldo will do after he retires?
I mean, he's well into like the fashion business now. I could see him sticking with that. Maybe some like commentary. I can't see him coaching. Honestly, I don't think he's the type of player that would go into coaching.
yeah,
but
and you know what? Beckham, I know Beckham did the whole fashion thing, and I know he's like the third like most highly paid like
I mean,
soccer.
David Beckham's into like ownership now. He's
Okay,
getting an
that's
MLS
good.
team.
That's
so.
good to hear.
But again, like I think Ronaldo's a similar like character to him.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Beckham would never have gotten into managing. It just wouldn't have worked.
I don't know if they even have the technical mindset.
No, I don't think. Well, not only that, I think hiring such a big personality like that to be your coach isn't necessarily the best move. Because I think it just draws too much attention away from like the product on the field
So
and the potential drama that it could bring off the field too.
like Diego Maradona at the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and then if you get that big of a personality like on the coaching staff, if he doesn't bring the results, firing him is a massive problem.
I mean, even firing Zidane. I mean, sometimes I wonder he's a legend at Real Madrid.
But he's not at the same level as like Ronaldo or Beckham, like
okay.
on the world popularity scale. So
Fair. Liverpool versus Man U. Any thoughts, guys?
it was,
I like James Milner a lot still.
Oh, really?
Yeah. He's a stud.
He is a stud. He's the soul of that team.
Did Billy tell you to talk about him?
No, I just know him because my roommate freshman year, Christopher Borowski, was a huge James Milner fan.
Do you know what his nickname is? It's Boring James Milner.
Okay.
Why is it that? Never
Because
got
he, I don't know. That's just I think what Liverpool fans call him. He doesn't have much of a personality. He's just kind of like the jack of all trades player. Like he can play in defense, midfield, wing, wherever.
everyone. I mean, that's their first game that they've not won.
But
in a
I
while.
tell you what, I really enjoyed that game until the 85th minute when Liverpool equalized.
It's
Because
not
I
clear,
mean,
guys. He's a Man U fan. It's not clear.
yeah, this is the most depressing year to be a Man U fan I think I've ever experienced. We're so bad, and a win against Liverpool would have been such a morale booster. Even a draw, like that's not a bad result. But when you come that close to getting a win and you lose 2 points at the end, it kind of sucks. But I guess you just got to take what you get.
Okay, so speaking of Man U, what do we do with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer?
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Pronunciation, Nick. Come on.
You're the soccer expert. I'm not. So,
I mean,
this is on you.
I mean, I'm still very fond of him. I mean, he's I guess kind of down the same path we were talking earlier. He's a club legend that's fairly inexperienced at coaching, but I mean they hired him last year after his extremely hot start as the interim manager. I don't think it's really smart to call that a mistake yet, because he's only had one transfer window, and if you think about how many players Man U lost this summer, Romelu Lukaku,
Alexis wanted him gone. Okay, let's
I know.
pause for a second.
Yeah, but he's still like a really reliable goal scorer. Right. I mean, him, I guess Alexis Sanchez, he's a mess, but and then some like kind of under the radar, really key guys like Ander Herrera, they're gone. That weakens the midfield significantly. But I think the main problem wasn't losing those guys. It was the lack of replacements that were signed. We got one semi-attacking player in Daniel James. And while he's been good, like the amount of injuries we've had to our forwards with nobody to back them up has been a massive problem. And that's why I think we've been struggling to score goals like we have.
Is Man U a failed Madrid?
I'm not
Here's
quite sure I understand your.
This is the current trend with big teams, right? Before financial fair play came along, we all know what it is. A big rich dude buys a team, and then they try to buy as many good players as they can. They break the transfer record 1 million times. They get a bunch of $100 million players together and say, "Let's win some things." Real Madrid did it. It kind of worked. Man City did it. It kind of worked. Then they got Pep. Now it's perfect. Man U, I mean, all their players are worth how much each, and they're just horrible.
I don't think that's a fair statement. I don't think it's the notion that they've spent like spending hasn't worked out. I think they've just spent wrong. Like the guys they're bringing in aren't Man U caliber players.
So spending is gone wrong then.
It has, but it's not the amount spent. It's who they spend it on.
Maybe it's the thought behind it. Maybe the solution isn't to buy
Man U's front
really
office is severely flawed. I mean, they don't have a director of football like a lot of other big clubs have. And their transfer decisions right now are in the hands of Ed Woodward, who, by the way, was a former economist or something like that. He has no football experience or soccer experience whatsoever.
Think about this? What do you think about these different approaches that all these teams are using to try to win games?
I mean, everybody's going to have a formula for success, right?
Right.
One thing I want to know is, why do consistent teams stay consistent? Why do inconsistent teams stay inconsistent? So, specifically the Wolves. Max wants to know, why are the Wolves so inconsistent?
Because they're a bad team.
Just because they're a very, I don't want to say young, but they're very new to the Premier League scene. And clubs like that, you can't expect them to win every week. Like sometimes you'll get a good result, and some weeks you'll get destroyed. That's just how teams that are mid-table or fighting relegation work.
Right.
Like, their season is very dependent on luck, and if they can get those big results or not.
Okay. Good response. Appreciate it. If you have any more questions, you can text or comment the YouTube link, or you can text or call in at 443-567-1837. Once again, that number is 443-567-1837. So talking more about the Premier League, what happened to the Spurs?
I think Spurs are... I don't think it'd be fair to compare them to the situation that Man U's in. I think with Spurs, they have like a deep squad, but the problem with them is, I know last year they spent $0 in the transfer market, and just the players coming in haven't been enough, and I think the squad is getting really stale because it's been the same players like every 4 years or whatever. Like Harry Kane's been there forever, Dele Alli's been there forever, Eriksen's been there forever. So you need some like new blood maybe to like reinvigorate the squad.
Okay, awesome. So moving on, the best team ever, Chelsea. What do you think of about them?
Yeah, give them a couple seasons.
What do you mean, Wilfred?
They're doing great right now. They're 4th in the league, right? This is great. However, they're a young squad, so we shouldn't. I think this is the problem with English teams. This is why I have a bias against them, right? They're not as good as everyone says they are because the media overhypes them. Chelsea's doing great. They're 4th in the league. Now everyone's going to say, Chelsea's awesome. Chelsea could beat Liverpool. Chelsea could beat Man City. No. They're a young squad. They're just playing good right now. We're going to give them a couple seasons to develop.
I'm actually going to disagree with you.
Okay.
Based on just the media expectations of them.
Okay.
There were zero expectations for them coming into the season.
Fair.
I mean, with Frank Lampard has 1 year of managerial experience, which was at Derby County last year. They have the transfer ban, so the only new player that came in was Christian Pulisic, and he hasn't really played. The rest of the squad is basically Chelsea academy players that have been on loan and are finally getting their chance to play.
Right.
I don't think anybody expected them to be in 4th right now.
No.
So I don't
right.
think anybody's getting carried away yet. That
I just
they're
know it's going to
one
happen.
of the
We're
up and coming
talking about it
teams
right
in
now.
England. I'm just saying, like,
We're media. We're talking about it right now.
yeah, exactly. But I think they're exceeding expectations, but nobody's getting carried away saying that they're gonna win the Premier League like next year.
Fair.
Or finish in 2nd behind Liverpool this year. I don't know, but I think everything is pretty calm right now, and I think like the kids on that team are playing really well.
Other teams should take note. They didn't buy 1 million players. They're developing the talent they have. They're developing a culture. It's like Barcelona. Everyone has chemistry. Messi, Iniesta, Xavi, PK, these guys played with each other for how many years before they had their first team debut, you know? So that chemistry, Chelsea's doing that. I think they're going to go far with that.
I mean, that's how when Sir Alex was at Man U, that's how he like put together his great team.
Yeah.
Like he had Ryan Giggs, David Beckham, Paul Scholes.
Yeah.
They all played with each other for I don't know how long with the youth level, and when he brought them all up at the same time, like that was probably the best team ever put together in the Premier League, based on
chemistry.
how long they had success.
Right.
Okay. Good talk. So, moving on. Is Manchester City in a defensive crisis? They have 3 central defenders injured and 2 defensive midfielders at center back. So, what's going on with that team? What do you expect, and how do they adjust to these circumstances?
I think they'll be perfectly fine, and here's why: their attacking talent is by far the best in the Premier League, even better than Liverpool. Just based on how many guys they have that can come in and consistently score goals. I think even with a bunch of defenders hurt, the volume of goals they'll score will be enough to like offset any defensive problems they have.
Okay.
Can't agree more.
Good talk. Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. And once again, if you want to chime in on the conversation, tweet me at NickM1, or you can call in or text in at 443-567-1837. If you texted in prior, I will be reading that text message. Just give me a second here while we finish up talking about Premier League soccer. Arsenal, they suck.
There is nothing to talk about.
Okay.
They're the same old Arsenal.
All right. Wilfred, any comments?
Yep, same old team, you know? What do you think they'll finish this year? 5th?
Maybe 4th if they're lucky. That seems to be the classic Arsenal finish, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they'll finish outside the top 4 again.
I will never forget. I saw this on Twitter. Someone was like, we need to give Wenger like more credit. He spent this amount of money and he was like 4th in the league for like this many years. And I'm like, okay, I'll give you credit for that, but you got to win something. I don't care how many times you place 2nd.
I don't think you can give him any credit because he was such a good manager when he came to the Premier League. He won 3 Premier League titles with Arsenal. But I think he just got complacent his past few years. He didn't really care about winning. I think he valued the financial reward of finishing in the top 4 more than getting trophies. So okay. I don't think you can give him any credit for how his Arsenal career finished.
Okay. So how big of an upset was Sheffield United when they defeated Arsenal? Sheffield United is currently in 9th. So
Sheffield is a new team, and I think they were favorites to get relegated this year. And I mean, being in 9th place is quite an accomplishment for them. I don't think you can be really surprised that they beat Arsenal, considering that it was like a home game for them. Arsenal's defensive struggles, as bad as they are, like I think it was something you could see coming. It was a trap game, as they call it.
Okay. Leicester City.
Leicester City.
Leicester?
Yes.
Leicester City. They are on fire right now. Oh, well, before we talk about them, Max wants to call in on WMUC Sports Radio. Max, you will be live on the air in just a second. Hello, Max. You're on WMUC Sports Radio. What would you like to talk about today? Max, are you there?
Looks like the
I don't hear
connection
anything.
is disconnected or something.
Okay. Max, if you want to call back, you can call back. Thank you for calling in, however. Leicester City, any comments about them?
I'm excited. I'm really excited because,
Yeah.
I mean, they won a couple years ago.
This is the best team they've had since 2016
Yeah.
when they won the Premier League.
Cinderella tale.
Yep.
Hopefully they can do some magic. I mean, I want Liverpool to win, but if they get second, that'll be great for me because I'm not a Man City
I think
fan.
they're definitely the most ambitious team in the Premier League outside of like the top 6.
Right.
They just hired Brendan Rodgers, who's a very accomplished manager. He had success with Liverpool.
Ooh.
And the quality of players they have are, I mean, they're definitely better than the squad Man U has right now, but
Yeah.
they're up there.
Okay, Max has finally called back. Let's see if his connection works this time. Max, you're on WMUC Sports Radio. What would you like to talk about today?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Yes, sir.
Oh, good. I have a question about the NBA, specifically for Will.
About the what?
The NBA. Thank you.
The NBA. He wants to talk to you about the NBA.
Yeah, sure. Let me hear it.
My question is LeBron James still the best player in the NBA?
Who's the
So
best
why,
player?
If not, then why?
So who's the best player in the NBA right now, and why? And if it's not Kawhi, why?
Yeah, he's LeBron.
That's a really good question. I mean, I know it's directed specifically at
You
me.
can't answer it without Google.
I like having resources. I like having resources. To me, you know what? It's a tough question because everyone wants to say Kawhi is the best player right now, and I think that is the only answer we can actually give because he's the only player who's proved himself. We're not going to say it's LeBron because LeBron is 34 years old. Yeah, no, it's not LeBron. Let's stop living in Fantasyland. But we can't say it's Anthony Davis. He hasn't won anything. We can't say it's Steph Curry. I mean, come on now. We're not going to say it's Steph Curry. We're not going to say it's Kawhi. He's the only one who's won something. I don't know. I don't even think it's
Steph has won 3 NBA Finals.
No, but recently. I mean, Kawhi, you look at the team that Kawhi
Recently,
had.
Steph has still won a lot.
We're talking about last season. What Kawhi did, what he did dragging the Raptors.
Yeah.
I mean, how many times did the Raptors...
Although, when you think about it, they were playing a very injury-depleted Warriors team.
I guess so, but who do the Raptors really have? I mean, they had a good team.
Kyle Lowry's an okay point guard.
33.
Fred Van Fleet.
Oh, yes.
Serge Ibaka.
These are all good players, but when we're talking about firepower, I mean, we can't even compare.
Sometimes it's better to have a group of guys that are like not superstars, but they just gel well.
No, I agree with I agree with you. I agree with you. But then when you have a team that gels well together, you want to win, you add one star, and Kawhi was that star.
Okay. Well, do you think the Raptors would have still beat the Warriors?
No, absolutely not.
No, they wouldn't
Nope.
have.
It would have been a sweep if Kawhi wasn't there.
If it wasn't Kawhi, they wouldn't. I mean, he was literally not only a defensive mastermind, but an offensive weapon. I mean, what else can you say? He has no holes.
Okay.
He's a robot. He has no holes. No holes in his game.
Robot.
So
love it.
If the Warriors had KD and Boogie, do you think they would have beat the Raptors, or how would the series have played out?
I think there's a good chance they would have won.
Yeah, I agree with that.
If anything, the series would have been a lot more competitive and would have gone past 5 games.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have been a great series to watch. Unfortunately, Klay Thompson, Kevin Durant, and Boogie Cousins all went down in the finals with injuries, and the Warriors were basically left with Iguodala, Draymond Green, and the one and only Steph Curry. So the Raptors ended up winning that series, and I'm excited for the NBA this year. There's a lot of teams that I think can compete, a lot of power duos in the league, so it's definitely up for grabs. And Klay Thompson's out with a torn ACL, so he's out for basically the whole year. If he comes back, it will be for Game 7 of the national championships again. So that'll be interesting to watch. NBA just had their first games this season. I don't know if you guys watched the opening night, but what people said, LeBron looked sluggish. And is LeBron still the best NBA player of all time?
Still the best of all time.
I don't think he ever was the best of all time. I still think MJ is the GOAT. I don't think you can argue with that.
You know what? I think you can argue with it. I don't know.
Michael Jordan played in a much more physical era of basketball.
That's fair, but I would say
I think if LeBron played back then, the amount of contact he would have faced, the way he plays, I think his career would have been much shorter, and I don't think he would have been as effective as a player.
Also, I mean, they're different players. They're really different players. I think MJ was more of a
team player.
I don't know about that.
Yes.
I feel like MJ is kind of. I don't want to see. I'm young, so I never saw MJ play. Obviously, I've heard more about Kobe Bryant than I've heard of MJ. When I think MJ, I think killer. I think Ronaldo. I think someone who comes in and they need to score a goal. They have to score a goal, and if they don't score a goal, they're gonna be pissed off. They're gonna be pissed off. I don't think LeBron is like that. LeBron's a different personality. I mean, when we compare them, like, what are we comparing?
Yeah, it's two different eras, two different players.
Different players.
Yeah. So I think it comes down to leadership and teamwork. Michael Jordan's going to win.
Absolutely.
LeBron
not
James
even close.
is just, he does not make the players around him better. But in terms of taking over the game when he needs to, you put the ball in LeBron James' hands and he will score you points every single day of the week. So I think it's kind of if and that, whatever you prefer, but it's definitely LeBron has to do some more at the end of his career here if he wants to cement his status as one of the better, if not the best, NBA players of all time. He's still got a lot more work to do.
Okay, I know we were going to talk about the GOAT debate today, but now I want to defend my boy LeBron. Okay, I gotta defend my boy LeBron. Okay, first of all, I'm not going to say that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, right? But let's look at it from this perspective. I'm stealing that phrase from Stephen A. Smith, right? MJ, I mean, I've read the Wikipedia. I've read some information. After he left the Bulls after his father passed away to go play, baseball? The Bulls, didn't they go to the Eastern Conference Finals without him? Let's compare that.
Let's also not forget who else was on that Bulls roster.
Exactly. Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. Those are amazing players. And those are just two. I'm sure you guys can name more. Who does LeBron have? Back when he was with the Cavs, there was no one except LeBron.
He had Kyrie. Kyrie has gone on to prove that he's not exactly that
He had
amazing
50
of a
points
player.
in a debut. Nobody's ever had 50 points in their team
What,
debut
for the Celtics?
No, for his new team, the Brooklyn Nets.
Oh, this year? I didn't watch.
So nobody's ever scored that many points in a debut for their team, so that was really cool. And I don't think Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving helped out LeBron that much, but it is certainly notable.
They're not comparable to guys like Pippen or Rodman.
Hall of Famers.
Yeah.
Literally, how many times did Dennis Rodman win Defensive Player of the Year? We don't know. But a lot.
I guess, do you guys want to keep talking about NBA? Or
Not really.
Okay. To break the conversation here, we have an excellent joke from Alex Scott, the one and only.
Oh, dear.
How well do you think Mario Kart prepares people to drive in NASCAR?
I'm going to answer this one. It is very important to play Mario Kart before you drive. Because especially on the Wii with the steering wheel accessory you can add to the remote, it really simulates actual driving. So I think it's incredibly important.
Yeah, I've seen simulations where they actually put you in a physical cart and they have some visual 3D world that you can enter in. It's probably like...
Because as a kid, I was amazing at Mario Kart on the Wii, and right now I'm a pretty good driver. So I think it correlates between the two.
So, Wilfred, we'll probably need you to start playing Mario Kart more because you're not as good at driving, right?
Yeah. Actually, I'm a pretty good driver, but Mario Kart, I'm not pretty good at Mario Kart.
Are you one of those people that drives like 50 in the left lane on the highway?
Are you saying I drive slow?
I just want to know what type of driver you are.
I'm the kind of guy, I never go above the speed limit. Ever.
Oh, so you're a safe driver.
Yeah, sadly, but it's because I'm a clumsy person in general. So when I'm driving, I play it safe.
So it's better. It's for the common good that you're a safe driver.
Yeah, no, actually, and it's selfish too. Like I don't want to get hurt, so I drive pretty safely. I don't break any rules because like I just know I shouldn't do that. Like I'm not the.
See,
one.
the thing is, when I'm on the highway, I want to get off the highway as fast as possible because I hate driving around other people. So therefore, pedal to the metal. Get home as soon as possible.
Not me,
Okay.
Me.
So speaking more about Mario Kart, do you guys like to use the plastic wheel in addition, like with the Wii remote, like
No.
So
that was just a joke.
So
I hate the accessory. It's horrible.
Like, so that doesn't help you. So
No.
you'd rather go in bare.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Alex, that answers your question. Thank you for texting in. Okay. Going more about Mario Kart. Do you prefer fast mode, 200cc, or like backwards mode where it's mirror mode?
Ooh, no.
Which one?
200cc.
All right.
Easy.
Yeah, if you ain't first, you're last, right? Am I right? You got to go fast.
Sure.
So, Ross says he can't count the number of blue shells that he's encountered on the highway.
We have gotten off on a massive tangent, going from sports to Mario Kart. Oof.
Yeah,
hey,
guys,
man, anything goes on this radio show.
Anything goes. Guys, we didn't talk about something that I really want to talk about.
Sure.
And
Shoot.
It dives into the why sports is bigger than just sports.
Yep.
It's about this Barcelona Madrid
I knew it.
Clasico postponed.
Yep.
Now, I'm no conspiracy theorist, but I am one. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I know
And
you are.
when I look at this, the two biggest teams in the league pushing. I understand there's a lot of political unrest, right?
Yep.
We don't have to get into that, and we don't have to get into that. But here's the thing: the two biggest teams in the league that are both kind of struggling this year, in their own ways.
I wouldn't say they're struggling because they're first and second right now.
True, but there's a lot of things going on. It's not smooth sailing. They're going to play each other, and the table. You look at the table. It's not like they're running away with it like they usually do. And they say, "Hey, we're the best teams in the league. Let's not play for each other. Let's not play each other for a little bit. Let's both win a little bit, and then afterwards we can play." You think there's anything fishy going on?
No.
Okay, fair.
Because my personal opinion, I think Real Madrid is going to get worse as the season goes on. I think they just had a few good results go their way at the start of the year, and I think that's just going to fall apart. I think Barcelona is going to get a lot better because Suarez, Messi, and Griezmann are starting to gel. You saw that in the last game when all three of them each scored a goal. I think this is a purely political thing. I think just the political implications of this game, on top of what's going on in Barcelona right now, I think it's just like a no-brainer to cancel it. You don't want anything to like get out of hand, like protests happening during the game.
Fair.
I think it's smart. I think it's smart just to let it die down a bit and just play in December when they rescheduled it.
Okay. Fair. So we're going to move away from soccer again because Max wants to talk about hockey. Max texted in, which teams have looked the best in hockey this season? So me personally, I think the Caps came out on fire.
Nick, have you watched anybody other than the Caps?
I went to a Capitals game already. Thank you very much.
So wait, no.
So,
but that doesn't answer my question.
You know what happened? Do you want to know what happened? Brendan Smith got whacked.
That's right.
In a fighting match.
First of all, I watched the video and I did not get whacked. I was still on my feet when the refs broke it up.
You were still on your feet. Just the fact that you have to say that you were going down.
No, I was still up. I thought I fought pretty well.
Well, regardless, after the power play, when you went into the power play box, the Capitals just took that to advantage and they scored. Capitals look good this year. They got out to a fast start. And they beat some good teams already. Bruins went out to a faster start, I believe. They look good. What do you think about the Penguins, Brendan?
They also got off to a fast start, and they've lost. So, I don't know. They're a very up-and-down team.
Aren't they on a losing streak?
They are. I think it's 3 games now.
Yikes.
It's rough.
Yikes.
It's kind of what you expect from the Penguins at this point. They always have an early season hiccup, and then they turn it on mid-season, and then kind of coast into the playoffs. So
what's going on in Pittsburgh? Why do they have so many teams? How big is Pittsburgh anyway?
You ask a lot of questions.
It's a medium-sized city.
And they have, how many teams do they have?
They have the Pirates, the Penguins, and the Steelers. I mean, that's not a lot of teams for a city of that size.
Do they have the capacity for all? How big is Pittsburgh?
Yeah, of course they do.
Oh, no.
Have you been there?
No. That's the
You
reason
should go. It's a very nice city. It's better than Baltimore.
Oh, hot take time.
That's not really a hot take. A lot of cities are better than Baltimore.
Yikes.
Baltimore only has 2 teams.
I can't wait for Ben to give me hate after I said that.
I mean, Pittsburgh only has 2.3 million people. That's not a lot of people in the metro. Whatever, just things I'm wondering out loud.
Okay. Sorry. Yeah. transitioning from topic to topic has been poor today, and I'll put that on me.
No, it's fun. It's interactive.
We've been talking
you know?
like soccer, then we talked like something else.
I mean,
and then we went back
you
to
can always
soccer.
you can blame the people calling in for not sticking on the topic.
Yeah, they. I don't think we have many soccer listeners here today.
Well, look,
No.
Max says he agrees with me, but what does he agree with? I don't even remember what he. Did he agree with the fact that Pittsburgh has too many teams? I mean, I just noticed that. I think it's true.
I think it was back when we were talking about the NBA.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Max, let us know in the chat. What do you agree with me with?
I think the chat is on a delay.
Oh, it definitely is.
So I have to like fix that next time. But MLB baseball World Series time.
Woo! Let's go Caps.
We can't.
Wrong sport, Will.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Caps? Oh,
Nope.
or Nats.
Nats. There you go.
Hey, it all rhymes, right? It all rhymes. Nats, Caps,
That doesn't really rhyme.
Flapjack. Okay.
Okay.
So what's going on with the Nats?
Okay, so
Four
World Series,
letter words.
Nationals are up 2-0 to the Astros. I really doubt that they're going to sweep. The Astros are just too good of a team to be swept like that. Although I think their chances are very high right now. Being up 2-0 is a large deficit, especially when those wins came on the road. So I think the Nationals are going to do some damage, if you so will, during this home series, and I think they can wrap it up in 5. If they don't, it's only because their starting pitching did not execute. So
Does everyone here support the Nats?
I'm supporting the Nats right now.
I rooted for the Astros in Game 1 purely because Garrett Cole was pitching, and he's one of my boys from the Pirates. So, yeah.
Loyalty.
But overall, it's the Nats for me as well.
Yeah, I feel weird rooting for a Washington team because Nick and I are from the same area. I'm a Baltimore dude, so it's weird rooting for.
Yeah, so we kind of have to like morph ourselves into the Washington fan base because like we can double dip like that. Am I right?
No, we can, but I don't even feel.
Says the fake Patriots fan.
Hey, the Patriots are the most enjoyable thing to watch.
Guys, can we talk about the Patriots?
No.
Can we not?
No, because
There's nothing to talk about.
No, we're not going to talk
How
about the
they're
Patriots.
dominating
Because
the league?
whatever I say is going to tip off Max later on.
Yeah, we're not going to do it.
Okay.
So more on the baseball. I think the Nationals will beat the Astros in 5. I think they'll get Game 5.
I'm gonna say 6. One more than you.
Okay.
I'm gonna say 4.
Okay. Oh,
A sweep.
Sweet baby. I agree with my boy Max.
Oof.
So, Patrick Corbin is not going to be starting Game 3. Anibal Sanchez is going to start. Patrick Corbin made a bullpen appearance in Game 1, so he is not completely rested, but I predict that he will start Game 4, and Max Scherzer will start Game 5. So that starting pitching is unbelievable. Nationals will be facing Zach Greinke for Game 3, and I think the Astros will be sure to make the Nationals earn every single win this series. So it's going to be a good series. Tickets for the World Series, if you want to go, are $1,500 right now for standing room only.
Good Lord.
So, yeah, if you want to go, you're going to spend a fortune. I might wait until like the 5th inning or 6th inning to buy tickets. Maybe I can get a ticket for like $60 at that time and experience that World Series atmosphere. So.
I will watch the game on the flat screen TV in my apartment.
If it was
on a
my
couch.
team, I'd go. I support Nick wanting to go. There's nothing. It's a different experience being there.
Yeah, but I'm not going to pay $1,000 just to see a team that
That's why
I don't really have a personal attachment to.
Pay $60.
That's why you wait until the 5th or 6th inning when they're still on sale, and they'll just let people in, hopefully. It'll be a good match. NFL, we can talk a lot about that, right?
There's a lot to say.
So I guess...
What team is going to sign AB?
I don't even know who's playing it.
What team is
Nobody.
going to sign? I've read some articles that teams are.
I feel like a
looking at
lot
the
of that
situation.
is just his agent hyping stuff
You
up.
think so?
I don't think anybody is gonna take a chance yet.
Really?
Maybe in a few more weeks, if there's a team that's really pushing for the playoffs
Right.
and needs offensive help, then maybe you take a stab at him. But I don't think anybody's just going to go and sign him just to have AB on their team.
No, I don't think anyone's going to do it now. I think after whatever goes on with this whole case I think if it turns out good for him, they're going to sign him up.
And also at the same time, if there's a team pushing for the playoffs that has really good team chemistry, you don't want to have a guy like him come in and have the potential of him destroying the locker room, like he did in Pittsburgh, like he did in Oakland.
He destroyed the locker rooms of shit teams, so...
Yeah, he didn't destroy the locker room of the Patriots that much. It was just kind of a cup of coffee there.
Belichick
He was there for what, 11 days?
11 days, something like that. People have had shorter.
He didn't have time to impose his will.
With such a strong culture that they have, I don't think he could have done
Oh,
that.
honestly, I thought he was going to work out fine there.
Unless he fucked Tom Brady's wife. We're getting a little vulgar, but like he'd have to do something crazy in order to mess
the
up their
language
culture.
reasonable.
Sorry about that.
There's no rules, but like.
I mean, I bet Tom Brady kind of kicked him out of his house after the sexual assault allegations came out. But
Did he?
Yeah, that was weird. Like Tom Brady offered up his house for Antonio Brown, and then like 5 days later, Antonio Brown's accused of sexual assault, and I don't think Tom wants to live with Antonio anymore.
What other teams have a chance in the league of winning?
A lot.
Okay, share. I'm not an NFL dude. So let's talk.
Maybe a hot take right now. I think that the
Jets.
Saints and the Packers are the two best teams in the NFL right now.
That's a very hot take.
Think about the Saints. They have played some very
With
high
Teddy
quality
Bridgewater.
teams with Teddy Bridgewater at quarterback. And think when Drew Brees comes back, that offense is going to go up to another level. And then if the defense keeps playing the same way it is, I think they're definitely the main Super Bowl favorites.
I mean, they only lost one game. Is that crazy of a hot take?
So the one game they lost was the game where Drew Brees got hurt, and that was the first time Teddy Bridgewater had played like meaningful football in almost 2 years. So you kind of expect the Saints offense to like not be like in sync.
What about the 49ers? You guys have any thoughts on them? They're doing pretty well.
They're undefeated, but their offense, like, I mean, they do have an incredible defense, but I don't think their offense is like up to par with like the Saints or the Packers.
Nick, any thoughts?
I think the 49ers are a good team. We'll have to wait and see. There's going to be a lot of good competitive teams this year. I don't know. I want to talk about a couple more things before we go off the air.
Okay.
We're planning to go off the air at 7 p.m. So, Ross says 49ers have a great defense, but Jimmy G isn't a leader yet.
Exactly. Yes.
I beg to defer. I think
No,
Jimmy G's a
I
stud.
1,000,000% agree with Ross.
Jimmy G is
I think
a go-to guy.
Jimmy G's, I guess, lack of talent in some areas is really going to hurt them in the playoffs.
Yeah, I do not think I think Jimmy G is a guy you want on your team. He's totally capable quarterback.
Sure, he's totally capable, but he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback.
I think he will be.
Well,
Maybe he will
he's
be.
a top 12
He
quarterback.
like maybe in the future he'll become one, but this year I don't see it.
What are the signs to know? Does he have to win before we say he's that? Like, what has to...
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. He missed last year with an ACL injury.
Ooh.
I think one day.
I think the main thing to look at with him is the turnovers. He's turned the ball over a lot this year, and
Good point,
in the
good
playoffs, turnovers are what like wins or loses games for you. So I think he's definitely got to limit those before we can talk about him being like one of the Super Bowl like quarterbacks.
Yeah, on one of these shows, we'll have to rank all the quarterbacks from 1 to 32
dear.
or something like that.
Can we do it when Big Ben is healthy?
Yeah, we can.
Where-
Or,
know who number
I
one
mean,
is.
he's not going to be healthy till next year, but can we include him as?
You already know who number one is, right?
Yeah, it's Aaron Rodgers.
Uh-oh.
Let's leave it at that. We're done. We're done.
Yeah,
We're done.
We're not talking about that anymore. Controversy incoming. So, speaking of controversy, LeBron, or Wilfred, can you update us on the LeBron controversy with China? I have no idea what happened there. Like, I actually have no idea. What happened?
So, okay, for anyone who's been living under a rock for the
Me.
past couple of weeks, here's what's going on with LeBron and China. So basically, you know, the Chinese government, they're commies. We know how they treat their citizens. Hong Kong, they're protesting, hey, we want democracy, we want freedom. And Daryl Morey, the GM of the Rockets, put out a tweet. He sent out a tweet basically criticizing, he's like, oh, I stand with freedom, I stand with Hong Kong. Yeah, that was a bad move because China is the NBA's fastest growing market. I mean, they have 2 billion people over there, right? And I mean, the Rockets with Yao Ming, I mean, the Rockets have a connection to China. I don't know why he doesn't care about the money, but the NBA definitely does. He quickly retracted that tweet, and China, if you know anything about the Chinese government, they own all the top businesses in China. So basically all the deals the NBA has with any business in China, the Chinese government's like, oh, you want to criticize us? Done. No more broadcasting, no more sponsorships, no nothing. Everyone backtracks. It's like the house is on fire. Everyone starts backtracking. And LeBron James decides to tell... You know how LeBron's social... he's woke. LeBron's woke, right? That's what everyone says, and we love LeBron for that. But when it comes to China, he's like, hey, if you don't know what you're talking about, don't say anything. It's about a lot of people lost a lot of money. He's kind of talking about the finances, and people are mad about that. I don't know. LeBron, instead of being the guy who stands with the people, is standing with
money.
Standing with the money, and people are saying that's critical. That's hypocritical of him because of the things he's done previously. I don't know.
So that was a great recap, Wilfred. I encouraged to see how China is going to deal with this. I know you were not allowed to watch NBA opening weekend in China this year. They canceled everything. So I guess I want to talk about Zion real quick. He's out 6 to 8 weeks with torn meniscus. What do you expect from him as a rookie this year? How many minutes is he going to get per game?
That's a crazy question. Zion is injury prone. I really like him. I really like what he can do, but he's injury prone. I mean, how many injuries has he had already in the past year? Just in the past year, probably 3? 3 maybe? I don't even know, 4? So he needs to work that out. He's a physical specimen, but if he can't figure out how his body works, it's going to be a problem. Yeah, that's all I can say about that. I don't know how many minutes he's going to play because I don't know what he's going to do when he comes back.
Okay. Yeah. Torn meniscus is a serious injury. Zion is going to be exciting to watch. I expect him to get 20 minutes a game maximum.
Oh, yeah.
Take it easy on him rookie year. No reason to rush. Are the Pelicans contenders?
No.
Yeah, if the Pelicans aren't contenders, then don't push them so hard.
They might surprise us this year, though. I don't think they're contenders, actually.
They don't have Anthony Davis.
Do you think they'll make the playoffs? They might.
I have no idea.
All right. That's it with that.
Some surprise teams of the NBA this year. Surprise players. Me personally, I like Pat Connaughton on the Milwaukee Bucks. He's been getting playing time consistently the past couple years, so I think this is a breakout year. He's on a solid team. I think he's going to make a name for himself. So I guess what else do you guys want to talk about for the last 3 minutes?
Before we go off the air, I put this in the agenda for the show today. Nick, would you care to read off the top 9 teams in the Bundesliga right now? This will test your pronunciation skills.
Okay. If you're a listener and you're able to type what I'm saying, I will have a prize for you. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready? So the top 9 teams in the
Bundesliga.
Bundesliga league.
Do you know
this
what
year,
that is?
It's a soccer league. So the first team, Borussia Mönchengladbach.
That's actually not bad.
Second team, Wolfsburg.
That's good. Yep.
Bayern Munich in third. And fourth, we have Borussia Dortmund. And fifth, we have Leipzig.
Yep.
And sixth, we have Freiburg.
Yep.
And seventh, we have Schalke.
Nope.
Shaky.
Schalke.
Schalke, what? Oh, that's an L, not an I?
That is an L, yep.
Oh, okay. That's not my fault then. And eighth, we have Eintracht Frankfurt. And ninth, we have Bayer Leverkusen. And
that was actually not bad.
That was pretty good.
So if you're able to write down all those team names, I have a prize for you. And
real quick, Will, who do you have winning that league?
Bayern Munich. Let's stop playing around.
Yeah, let's be real. Yeah, I agree.
Bayern Munich's quality team.
They've only won 10 times in a row.
Okay. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in today. We are running out of time. So this was WMUC Sports Radio. This is Nick, Wilfred, and Brendan joining you. Signing off now. Hope to see you next week, Thursday, 6 to 7 p.m. We will be doing the YouTube stream again. I hope you enjoyed the YouTube stream. But other than that, I have nothing else to say, and have a good night.